Hi you guys. Boy, I'll tell you what, I hope you have a small shop, about 8 by 8 or 10 by 10 foot square shop, somewhere like Martha's Vineyard or someplace like, any beach town, pretty much any tourist town, because I have the ultimate tourist item for you. And it's really, really easy to make, super simple, fast and easy. And you know, that's the way I like it. Fast and easy, that's better. So let me show you what I do for a living. I've made these up here. This is starts with Aries here, and I have Taurus over here, and Gemini and so on. And then Cancer over here, and I'm working right now on Leo. This is my Leo. I'll show you what I'm doing there. So I made some Leos. Let's make a couple of, let's make a Leo earring or amulet. See, because I'm going to make two of these for both, either an earring or an amulet, because the amulet will take one on each side, and the earring will take one on one side and one on the other, so you know what I mean. So here's one. And here's another. Really, this is so important. Several people told me today that they discovered, finally, they discovered how important it is to really, really do a good job of rolling this stuff out. It takes a little while, and you really have to be patient. It is a craft that's going to slow you down, and it's all to the good. So let me show you to do. You make a small circle here, even smaller than dime size would be all right. That's smaller than dime size. It's about the size of a $2.50 gold piece. Now here, U.S. gold piece. Here I put another one around the outside. When you first put your first circle in there, just make sure not to make it too small. That is the center, that's the middle, the inside circle, I decide. So I put the other one close by around the outside of that. That determines the size of this, the diameter of that inside circle. That's about the same, see? But you don't know whether you made the inside or outside circle until you make that first circle. Then you go, that's the outside, I should make one inside that one. Or that's the inside, I should make one outside that. It's really, really important that you don't make that decision until you have made that first circle. Let me show you again. This is a real Heisenberg principle. It's a very powerful principle, and it has to do with uncertainty. You want to keep as much uncertainty in this sphere as you can. So let me show you how it works. You get a nice roll out here. Be gentle with it when you get this final roll like that. Now you're going to use your metal tip. You're going to make a circle. About in the center. I mean, it might not. It won't be exactly in the center. That's all right. Now that circle should be the inside, and I can compensate, come out a little bit further this way here for that little goof that I made there of not centering it exactly. So that's kind of sort of center, but I made the outside second. So again, that uncertainty principle's holding until I make that second circle. I don't want to make the second circle. I don't want to decide, rather, what my first circle is until I have made it. Now I decide that's the inner circle, so now I make a circle around the outside of that. But it could easily have been the other way. I could have made this one this size first and then say, oh, you know what, that's a little too large. I need to make the inside circle smaller than that, so you do that way. So those compensations are very important. Now, let me show you where you can go further than that. Here, you're going to take, this is that first set, and we're going to make a set of Geminis. Okay, so here is a set of Geminis. Here's a Gemini here, and I'm going to poke around that circle, or between those two circles, I'm going to poke that band. Then flip it over, and I'm going to roll it out gently, and roll it out gently like this, and be crosswise like that, and that makes into a really nice piece. So once again, I'm going to make a Gemini sign. Now it's really quite helpful if you are already an astrologer, because these days you just do it all by computer, but we used to make charts by hand, and you'd have to draw them. You'd have to know these signs. You don't have to know them now. All you got to do is press a button, drag and click. But you will have to learn them if you do this very often. People will want that. And by the way, the signature down there is in a cartouche. I would just put a little circle around it, which kind of makes it into a kind of a chop mark, which I like quite a bit. So there's a pair of Geminis right there. And I have here, I want to make a Scorpio. For someone who has a birthday on Halloween. Can you imagine that? Hard to forget. And when's your birthday? You don't have to ask that any year at all. So here is for that particular Scorpio. Like that, and then crisscross it and go across that direction like that. Now you're ready to mount these guys. Let's take the Gemini, that first set. Let's take the Geminis here, and please notice that I also signed them with that chop mark. That chop mark determines that that's the bottom of each of those things. So now I'll take some of my black backs, and these you can get from me. I don't know of any other way to get them. And you're going to use double stick Scotch tape from your dispenser, like I told you. And then just fold this up so that don't put an X on it. You do like this. Then you're going to go this direction, crisscross it like that. And just a little bit should be there. And just kind of fold it up in like this. And put your metal on there. And make sure you position it well, because this stuff will hold. This is permanent Scotch tape, and it will hold quite well. So, I mean, of course, in the shower it won't. The whole damn thing will disintegrate in the shower or the bath, of course. It's made of cardboard, for God's sakes. How can you make it so it doesn't disintegrate in there? Well, you can. There's a number of very expensive ways to make that not happen. Oopsie. Let's see. I did the wrong thing there. There we go. That's it. Okay. So those are ready for punching. I have my beadsmith 1.5 mil. I hold it like this so that the name is by my thumb, and my forefinger is above it at the top. I push this against my forefinger, more or less. I know how much to push. And I take my finger away because it could hurt. And then I press down like that, wiggle this off of there, and I have a hole that will work perfectly. Do the same thing here. Stop it with your finger. Get your finger out of the way. Make your cut, make your chop like this. Now, grab a couple of ear wires. Turn the ear wire the correct way, which is the curved loop up. Open this up so that this thing fits on there, and it's going to be open quite a bit, but not too much, otherwise you won't be able to get it closed. Like this, and make sure it flip-flops, because if it doesn't flip-flop, it ain't right. And if it does flip-flop but then it falls off, it ain't right. So you need to make it so that it stays on there and it flip-flops really well. It wiggles around really well like that. It's really free to move, but at the same time this thing is actually closed. That means that you've hit it just right on the punch, because this punch has got to be really close to get this particular ear wire. This ear wire and this black back barely fit each other, but they do. You can make them fit, but you have to make it right. You have to really make it right. Well, let's look at the Scorpios that I put together here. There's a couple of Scorpios, and I'll run through it one more time for you so you see exactly how it runs. I took 2 black backs. Oh, there's a front side which is round, and then there's a back side which has a little ridge on it, and it's kind of sharper. Not sharp, but sharper. You're going to turn it ridge side up, round side down, like that, so the bottoms are up. Then you're going to put your tape on the back side of this thing, essentially. This is the side that has that sharper edge. So when you put this on there, see, it fits absolutely perfectly on there. It works great. You want that side. You don't want the rounded side with the metal. Really do pay attention, because you're going to have to, sooner or later, with this stuff. This is tricky stuff. It is tricky. But I guarantee that once you get the hang of it, you can make yourself a really nice livelihood. Not just a little extra buck or two, but you can actually make a livelihood out of doing stuff like this. You just have to connect with people properly and get your merchandise out there in front of their faces. And that's what it is. It's about Facebook, face this, face that, face the music. So it is a lot of, it's about the motions as well. There's an awful lot of dance move to this that you need to actually be cognizant of, I guess. So that's simple. And I'm going to just do these the rest of the night, basically, this stuff. I'm going to be doing that, working on these guys and getting these ready. See, there's a, and that's Leo. And here is a Virgo. And then this is Libra. These are 2 Libras here. And Scorpios here. A couple of Sages over here. An arrow with the bow and arrow. And then we have Capricorn over here. That's a little tricky, that side. And Aquarius over here. Pisces over here. I think that's pretty much what we got. That's it, yeah. I've already done the Virgo and the Taurus and the Gemini and the Cancer. And the Leo is what I'm working on now, as I said. So that is essentially what you're going to need. So let me review again what you need. You need a Scotch dispenser, 3M Scotch dispenser. The kind you need is called a C25. It's commercial Scotch dispenser. You get the tape in and out of here by inserting your thumbs inside this rim of the holder, and you push up like that, and this thing pushes up, comes up like this, and it will go out to the side like that. You can put your new tape in and then put it down like this. When you pull your tape out, you'll start getting to the point where you actually can almost see where to pull it. There's a line right here that you actually will see, and that's about what you need in the way of length. So if you're really, really attentive, you actually can find that little line. You can see that little line, and you can get exactly the right length every single time to go onto this thing. The other thing you're going to need, don't forget, is coming up in a moment, and that is the Beadsmith 1.5 mil hole puncher. And that's this right here, and I'm going to put my finger right there, stop it there, and do that thing, and then pull it out of there. And don't forget what you need here, which is that French ear wire. Pull that out, open it up, put this on there like that. Make it so it gets nice and floppy and looking good. And there's your Leo earring like that. Okay, like this. Here's your Leo earring, nice and floppy. And the next one's ready to be made. So, needle nose pliers, beadsmith, your embossing tool. You're going to need your dispenser and some tape. Don't forget the tape itself. And, of course, you're going to need some ear wires and some black backs and some discs, and I can provide all of that for you. Just let me know what you need, and I'm happy to find what I am able to find for you and get the stuff to you as quick as I can. All right.